All right, let's talk about finding a dog trainer, and not just any dog trainer, but the right one for you if you and your dog live in or around Goshen, Connecticut. Yeah, do either of these sound familiar? You're out for a walk, a deer pops out, and where'd your dog go? Or maybe you're just trying to keep them from yanking your arm off on a quiet country road. Life with a dog out here is amazing, but it definitely comes with its own set of challenges. And that's exactly why we're focusing on Goshen. Training a dog here is just different than training one in a big city. The world they live in is completely different, so the skills they need are different too. I mean, just think about your average day. You've got those quiet country roads where cars can appear pretty quickly. You have to teach your dog where your property ends and your neighbor's begins. And then there are all the other animals, horses, farm animals, not to mention all the deer and turkeys. A generic, one-size-fits-all training plan just isn't going to cut it for these kinds of real-life situations. Okay, so before you even open up your computer to search for a trainer, you've got to do a little homework yourself. You need to get really clear on what you actually want to accomplish. This is probably the most important first step you can take. So really, what's the main goal? Are we talking about a brand new puppy who needs to learn, well, everything? Or do you have an older dog who could just use a brush up on the basics? Maybe it's something more specific, like your dog gets really scared or barks at everything that moves. Pinpointing that is key. Pretty much any goal is going to fall into one of these buckets. You've got your puppy stuff, socialization, house training, all that good groundwork. Then there's basic obedience, which is your sit, stay, come, walking nicely on a leash. Behavior modification is when you're trying to work on an existing problem, like anxiety or reactivity. And then there's the really specialized stuff, like for therapy dogs. Knowing which category you're in makes finding the right person so much easier. All right, so you know what you want to work on. Now for the big question. Who do you hire? Let's get into what to look for, from their training style to all those confusing letters that sometimes come after their name. So the term you're going to hear a lot, and for very good reason, is positive reinforcement. It's really simple. You reward the good stuff your dog does. That's it. It makes them want to do the right thing. It's all about building a great relationship based on trust, not fear. And you can really see the difference here. Reward-based training helps your dog feel confident and safe. But methods that use intimidation or force, well, they can backfire. They can actually create new problems, like anxiety or even aggression. So how you choose to train really, really matters for your dog's happiness and for your relationship with them. Okay, the alphabet soup. What do all these letters mean? Don't worry about memorizing them, but just know that they're a good sign. They mean the trainer has actually studied, passed tests, and keeps up with the latest science. Something like a CPD-TK is great for general knowledge, while a CBC-CK is someone you'd look for with more serious stuff, like deep-seated anxiety. It's just a quick way to see they've put in the work.
Okay, let's talk logistics. How does the training actually happen, and, what's it going to cost around here?
You've got a few different ways to go. Group classes can be good, especially for puppies, but you'll probably have to drive a bit to find one. Private lessons are great for one-on-one focus. But honestly, for life in Goshen, in-home training can be fantastic. The trainer comes right to you and helps you with problems right where they're happening. Like when your dog loses his mind every single time the mail carrier drives by. So here's a rough breakdown of what you might expect to pay. A group class that runs for a few weeks might be a couple $100. Private one-on-one sessions are usually a bit more per hour. And then you have options like board and train, where your dog goes to live with the trainer for a few weeks, and that's obviously a much bigger financial commitment. Now, here's a pro tip specifically for our area. A lot of trainers aren't based right in Goshen, so they have to travel to get to you. Make sure you ask them about travel fees. Is it included in their price? Is it an extra charge? You want to know that number upfront so there are no surprises later. Okay, so let's say you have a short list of trainers you're considering. Now it's time to interview them. To make that easier, here are the exact questions you should be asking. Seriously, use this as your checklist when you call them. You want to know about their methods, their background, and exactly how they'll tailor a plan for you. And that last question is huge for us. Do you have experience with dogs around wildlife or farm animals? That's not a standard question for a city trainer, but around here, it's absolutely essential. And this isn't just about making your life easier. It's about being a good neighbor, too. The law in Connecticut is clear. Your dog has to be under your control. Good training isn't just a nice to have, it's how you make sure your dog is safe, other people are safe, and you're being a responsible part of the community. All right, so where can you practice all these new skills? We're lucky to have some great spots.
Mohawk and Topsmead State Forests are perfect for working on leash manners with some new sights and smells. But hey, don't forget your own yard. It's the best place to work on that recall until it's absolutely solid.
So just take a second and think about what that looks like. How much better would your daily life in Goshen be with a dog you can really trust? Picture those calm walks, not worrying when guests come over, just enjoying everything this area has to offer with your best friend by your side. The work you put in now makes all those wonderful little moments possible. We wish you the very best on your training journey.